Let's go to the next question now from Anna on Facebook. How do you understand Revelation 7:13 and 14? What do the robes mean? Let me just read that passage for you. Then one of the elders addressed me, saying, "Who are these clothed in white robes, and from where have they come?" I said to him, "Sir, you know." And he said to me, "These are the ones coming out of the great tribulation. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb."
Mm-hmm. Well, white robes, of course, stand for righteousness and holiness, also conquest. And we have to remember the original audience here are suffering Christians, persecuted Christians. Many of them will become martyrs. The Great Tribulation referred to here is this whole sinful age between Christ's two comings. Since Jesus was raised and ascended to the Father, the church has been persecuted.
Yeah, now I know there are differences of opinion on that, right? I was brought up in a Christian tradition where they said the Great Tribulation is going to be a period of seven years. Sometime in the future is going to be really, really bad. And but can you unpack that a little bit more?
Sure. Throughout the book of Revelation, I think everybody agrees, the numbers in the book of Revelation are used symbolically.
The seven spirits of God earlier in the book, for example.
Exactly. We differ over how many of the numbers are symbolic. So, a lot of believers will say most of the numbers in Revelation are symbolic, but then when you come to the 7 years tribulation, that's not symbolic.
Yeah.
Well, no, it is symbolic of a week. It's a period. It's a period from Christ's ascension and the sending of the Spirit and his return. Now, this is what's amazing, and go back to Matthew 24 and early part of 25, Jesus' Olivet Discourse, where he says two things that seem contradictory. He says, on the one hand, the gospel will be successful. The gospel will be preached to the whole earth. On the other hand, there will be great persecution, and the world will be in turmoil until the gospel is preached to the ends of the earth, and then the end will come. Christ will come in his glory and gather his elect from the four corners of the earth, and so forth. So this whole period is one of victory for the gospel, and yet under great persecution. As one of the church fathers said, the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. And ironically, look at China today, great persecution for decades, great persecution in China of Christians, and yet within a decade, it will be the most populous Christian nation on earth.
Wow.
This is what happens. And so this is a picture of that time when Christ will return, our bodies will be raised, and believers clothed in the white robes of Christ's righteousness are given peace and life forever. What's significant here is that they are given these white robes, which they have washed clean. If it had ended there, which they had made white, you would say, okay, it's saying by their works.
Yeah.
There were some stains, but they scrubbed them out. But made white by being dipped in the blood of the Lamb. That is the only way they have these white robes. And one also thinks they're similar connection with Jesus' parable of the wedding feast, where there's somebody present who doesn't have the wedding garment, and he's cast into outer darkness. You cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven without wearing the robe of Christ's righteousness. And that's the point here that John is making as well.